to the. All right. So Dave and I are here together with you guys this evening, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Tensor products. And we're talking about the Tensor rings still. One of the next classes we'll start talking about the AccuVacs, the pressure wands, the different things like that, the feedback loops. But for right now, we're still kind of talking about some of the rings and what the rings can do and that type of thing. And as a quick recap, we know that a tensor ring is created by the copper ring, and this is the outside ring of it. In the center is where we have our tensor field. We come up with the frequency that is by the tensor ring by the cubit or the length of the particular ring. And today we're going to talk about remove and we're going to talk about harmony, or I don't know how to say the word, Teotihuacana, something like that. Um, and talk a little bit about the benefits of these two rings. Um, this one is a 12 gauge. Remember, we said the gauges, if there's a larger number, the gauge is smaller. If it's a smaller number, this is a 10. And that means that it's going to be a little bit heavier. Okay. Any questions real quick about understanding the qubits, what the qubit means, how a tensor field works, or anything like that? Or you guys got a pretty good handle on that?
Don't quiz me, but I think I'm okay so far.
Okay, good, good, good. Rose has been playing with them a lot too, and so she's really getting a good handle on it also. The 12, we started adding bead because it gives it a little bit of an amplification, gives it a little bit more of a boost. So it's more similar to the 10 gauge when we're working with that as well. All right, so let's talk about remove. Who has any information that you could share, or maybe if you want to ask David some questions about the remove? I'm trying to find my little notes here real quick. Nope, that's not the one I wanted. The remove is based off of, I want to get the frequencies. That's what I'm looking for. I had this up a minute ago. Where did it go? In the quantum fields, there's actually no time, no space, no real distance also. So this is kind of like it really falls and plays off of the education we've been talking about of the no time, no space. The sun is 93 million miles away from us, and a photon, it takes 8.5 minutes for the photons to come into our 3D linear. But when we work from a higher conscious, when we work from the tensor fields, it's instantaneous. So think about it when you're working with your tensors, when you're working with your AccuVacs, when you're working with the rings, it doesn't matter what you're working with. You are at a point where it is when you're working from the subconscious and bringing it into the conscious, you are working at it from that place of things happening instantaneously. That's why manifestations are so important right now. And I cannot find what I am looking for. It's like right here. I know I'm looking at it. Um, Dave, what do you have to add about the tensors when working with them? There we go.
Well, just, placing yourself through them, your arm, or like see them putting it around their head, it helps amplify your
Right.
own energy.
Kind of like Amy's doing right there. It helps
Mhm.
bring up your energy, your conscious, your all of that by becoming a part of the tensor. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, Ramu resonates at a 404 megahertz, and it's based on holistic and spiritual, and it's totally wellness. It's all about how can we begin to be well on all levels, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially. All levels that associate with us is where the Ramu is going to be very beneficial to bring into your space, to have in your space. So no matter where your struggle is, know that when you bring the energy of that together,
Mhm.
excuse me, um, you're going to tap into wellness. Okay. So if your bank account, hey Roxana, so if your bank account needs a little boost, use Ramu with it. If your physical health needs a little boost, bring the Ramu in with it as well. Look at it as therapeutic. That's sort of one. Therapeutic, kind of like this is the ultimate of a therapist, of a counselor. This energy that's in this, and like Dave said, you can just put yourself within it. Okay, whether you put it over your head, whether you sit with your feet in it, whether you sit with it under your chair, or you put it under your mattress, under your bed, that kind of thing, it gives you that little extra boost of wellness on all levels.
And with it being part of the healing, you even if you have like certain ailments, certain parts that hurt, you put it through there and it'll actually help with the instantaneous healing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Were you able to hear him?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear him. I can't see him, but I can hear him.
Okay. I think he's sitting back so that people don't see him.
Come
He's
on.
the he's
And,
the mystery man.
and
So
so you only have like a bracelet of Ramu. If you wear the bracelet, it's just as good as like you had a bigger ring.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
It's still going to resonate at that 404 megahertz because of the qubit size. And now, when he does do the bangles, for instance, they're cut down. It's like taking a percentage of this is the whole qubit that
Right.
is the remove. This is what has been measured out, has been determined is the remove length. Now, when he does the bangles, he does that. It's a mathematical equation that he has to do to bring the sizes down, but they stay the exact same energy.
Yeah, it's like fraction. So it's like, for example, you would take this and divide it in force to reduce the size.
Gotcha.
Okay. So,
Well,
any other questions associated with remove?
Well, like I dropped my cell phone on my big toe this afternoon. So I have the Ramu AccuVac and I have a Ramu bangle, but my actual Ramu tensor ring my mom has. So which but I have a galactic and earth tensor rings. So I put those kind of around my toe, my foot, and stuff. So I don't know which one would be better or all of them or
I think, when in doubt, I like to go to Earth. I like
okay.
to go to Sacred. I like to go to Lost.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Josie, I like to go to Empowerment. Sacred, Lost, and Empowerment, those three actually work so well together. It's kind of not funny. Sacred and Lost are like partnership. Lost or Sacred is all about the physical. The Lost is all about the mental and the emotional and the spiritual. So they kind of interlock with each other. And then when you put empowerment with it, you've amplified those up to the point. So why I'm saying that, Amy, is like what you were saying. What one do I use? If you feel a combination speaks to you, use that combination. And as you start to learn a little bit more about the rings and you start understanding what those rings focus on and do. Like, it was so interesting as I was creating the website. One of my big questions was lost, because a lot of people would say, well, why would I want a ring with lost? And then as I started researching, they said that lost was actually a cubit measurement that the elite took and hid, because they didn't want people to be able to get mentally well. They didn't want people to be able to be emotionally well. They wanted to have the trigger to basically, oh, they own have that privilege, not the normal everyday person. So the lost is excellent if you have any kind of behavioral, if you know somebody who deals with depression, if you know someone who has like bipolar or has any of those kind of different conditions. Lost is the perfect ring to bring in because of what it can do. Well, when you put lost and sacred together, they fill in the gap with each other. I don't have them here because we've talked about them before, but when you put them together, they're very close in size and they fill in a gap with each other. So they kind of interweave the mental, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual, and the financial aspect with that. And then when you put empowerment in there, it just kind of like takes it and amplifies it. So those are three really strong rings to use together because of that. Any questions on that? When you're using rings together, what do you think is the key to finding them working to, say, in a balanced way? What do you think really helps them feel balanced?
Keep them together.
When you keep them together and you're working with them, yeah. What kind of gives you that little extra boost or gives you that feeling that they're energizing together? Do you have any thoughts on that? Not really? Okay, that's fine. It was just a curious question because I know sometimes when I bring certain rings together, I can really tell that they're amped. I can tell that they're like, yay, we're working together, we're having fun together. And then there's other times like the energy ring. I love the energy ring. It's huge. You can sit in the middle of it, but I don't necessarily feel like I need to bring in extra rings when I work with the energy ring, especially if I'm working like on the land, if I'm working on the weather. They're all going to bring down that EMF energy. They're all going to change that frequency. All right.
Well,
All right. The other ring that we brought out tonight is and I can't say it, the TO, but Harmony. We call it TO for short. And it was really interesting at one of the shows. There was a young woman that came in, and of course, she can speak Spanish, and of course, she's associated and aware of what that area is. Hey, Susan. And knowing that that's actually temple. It's a temple, it's a pyramid temple area, and the energy that it brings with it is all about the harmony. And with that one, it has the frequency and the vibration of all tensor rings. So if you're working with the TO or the harmony one, it actually is carrying the frequency of every other tensor ring within it. And its frequency is based on the temple of the sun, the properties, balance, body, mind, and spirit. It actually vibrates with past, present, future. So when you're doing any kind of, I need to clear out old past signature, I need to get rid of old habits, I need to let go of things that aren't serving my higher good, that's one of the best rings to bring in, is the harmony one for that. It also helps you set up for the future. I've got a court date coming up. Use the harmony ring. I've got an important business meeting coming up. Use that tensor ring to help bring in the energy of what's for the highest good. Because, like we said, remember when you're working with harmony that it is based on the frequency and the vibration of all the tensors, and it's going to give you what you need. It works with cleansing the distortion around you. Have you ever had that feeling like we've all been talking about like crazy? That feeling where everything is just not quite right? The harmony qubit, the harmony tensor ring is actually going to help you feel that come back into center. And I love to use this one like I do with the earth. I use it for grounding. I use it for helping get myself some really good focus, and it gets rid of that distortion where you feel like everything is just going around you. This one will bring it into a peace. Okay. Um, it really helps.
Mhm.
Go ahead. Did you have a question, Susan?
No, I'm just I don't know what time you started, but I'm in the car, so I lost a little bit of it. But no, I cannot believe the information you're sharing right now.
Oh, okay. No,
Wow,
and I am going to be recording it. It is recorded, so we will have
perfect.
a replay on the website. Um, but it works as well anything with fluid. So like if you have a river, if you have a body of water, if you have like your body is made up of water. So it works within that fluid signature. It gives that fluid extra work in that sense, and it helps balance out nature.
Yep.
What do you mean it helps balance out nature?
Um,
Well, it's great. Like we make a garden version the the tensors, and if you were to basically put that in your garden, it's called electroculture. It draws in the atmospheric energy and it changes the pH and the moisture that's in the soil, which causes you to get tomatoes and plants or fruits that are humongous.
Wow.
that's what Chris used. I believe she had the Harmony garden one in her garden when she was showing you all the veggies that she had.
So that's different from the harmony ring that we have in the harmony tensor. It's a
You could
different one to get.
you could
Right,
use the garden, yes, but you know what? If you have the Harmony ring and you don't have it and you're got trying to get a plant to grow, put that ring in your garden.
right.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
And
Nice.
the beauty of using the garden stakes is they're designed so that you can put them in the ground, and we will talk about that in the future. But you can put it in the ground, and the coil goes up, and then it reaches out so that it helps draw the energy in.
Well, that's cool that there's a garden stake. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and he does
Yeah.
for you don't do Remen as a
Um,
garden stake. I don't remember
yeah,
seeing.
we can. They're just small,
Okay.
and I can make them bigger. Jeez,
He
big
gluts.
door.
He gluts. He falls through the door. Um, and we will talk about those more. And like I said, we will talk about the feedback loops. We will talk about the AccuVax and that type of thing. But David was saying something earlier to me about the tensor ring always operates from the positive.
Right, when you make a tensor, the line is created around a loop, so there is no negative. So basically, it's one line and it goes all the way down and then it goes all the way back. So it is a one straight shot and twisted. So it is both ends are positive. So when you bring it together, that's what creates that tensor field.
Does that make sense?
Hmm.
So
When he
I
was,
just like there's no negative.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
it helps clear it out so that it's not going to hold that negative frequency either. Like in your space, if I have the remove and I'm in my space and I don't feel well, and I bring the remove in, it's going to help let that negative, I don't feel well, be gone by bringing in the positive, by bringing in that continual flow of that positive frequency.
Wow.
Okay, can you say that again, that both ends connected are positive?
correct. And it's the way that you create the tensor. Like say, like I'll give you an example. Say I take 20 feet of wire and it's not twisted together. I take the 20 feet, I split it in half and put it around a hook at the end. And then
Okay,
I twist the two wires that are 10 foot long together to make the tensor. So therefore, there is no negative side to the wire. They're both one continuous wire.
It's wrapped back on itself. That's why
Okay.
the twist is so important. That's why I was making some for some of the orgonite I make, and David was like, "You're not getting it at the right."
Yeah, it's got to be at the 45-degree angle, and that's where, like, you look at this part really closely, and you'll see it's at that 45 degree. Some of them that are a little less, it just, they're still, it's a certain point. Like when you're making them, it's it'll actually stop right at that point.
Did that answer your question, Josie? You look like you're
Yeah,
playing.
I have to hear that one again. So I'll
Yeah.
have to re-listen to this again because I understand what you're saying by bending them in half, but when you're joining them together and fusing them together, how is it that they're not repelling each other if they're both positives?
It's a continual flow.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's like if we took like yarn, okay, and you take a strength of yarn and then you bring it back on yourself, and then you bring it back on yourself, then you bring it back on yourself, then you bring it back. It's a continual flow.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Does that make sense then?
Yes.
Or it's like if you have a couple car batteries and you hook up two car batteries, you hook a positive to a positive and you have the same voltage.
Ah, okay. That clicked.
yeah. Can you repeat that battery thing again, please?
That's good.
Well, it's like two car batteries. Like when you connect two batteries together to keep them at the same voltage, say a 12-volt battery, you could to keep the voltage at 12 volts, you do a positive to the positive and negative to the negative. Therefore, both batteries are reading the same voltage of 12 volts,
Oh,
just
yeah.
a little more juice.
Gotcha.
And that's
Got
why bringing two positive together actually creates that connection.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Algebra just went in
I
my
saw
head.
that one. I literally saw that one light up, Josie.
Got it.
Got it. Okay. A positive is a positive is a positive. A positive and negative is a negative, and negative is a positive.
Right. And when you cross a positive and negative, that's when you get your bzz.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Hey, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
so sometimes the creator can answer things easier than I can. No, that's why when I knew he was going to be around, I asked him if he'd stay so he could help us understand things a little bit more. Um, any
Thank
other questions that you guys have in association with some of the rings? I think this is probably going to be the last time I focus on rings. Um, and if you go on the new website, the mysticalmagicaltensor.com, if you go on that website, there's information on every single ring in great detail. It was so I learned so much just creating that one section. It's, for example, the Remen, the small little Remen, the beginning ring that we work with, it's all about structure. It's all about the like framework. It's all about like if you're building, you definitely want to bring Remen energy in. If you've had like, for example, the Columbine high school shootings, or if you've had, the different traumatic things like that that have happened in society, bringing that Remen energy of that cubit in is going to heal that structure so that it's not hold. Have you ever gone into a place where you walk in and you're like, ooh, something ugly happened here? Or
Mhm.
you feel repelled or you feel moved out? Remen is going to give you the opportunity for that energy to be released and be brought back into a positive space.
That's cool. I didn't really know the actual definition of Remu. I mean, I just think it's very awesome. Had no idea.
Of Ramu?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. It's the one I'm talking about for the structure is Remen. It's the first one. It's the little ring. It's about that big. About that big.
Yeah.
Okay.
The very first in the set of 11.
Ramen. Okay.
And that one really, if you know where, Susan, you work in a place where there's death, okay? If you had your Remen, you could have your Remen AccuVac in the building, you could have your Remen tensor ring in your office, whatever. It's going to help release some of that trauma that comes from death. And it'll actually help those that are transitioning to be able to do it in a positive flow.
Oh, wow. I needed that last week.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Wow.
And if you don't have it as the ring, I don't know if you have the whole ring set or not, Susan,
Yeah,
but
I do. Yeah.
the AccuVax works just as well. Remember, I told you, these are environmental and global because they're round. The
Mm.
AccuVax are more personal because of how they are structured and how they are. Amy, do you have your AccuVax right there?
Yes, I have the box here.
Can you hold up one?
Where's my camera? Oh,
I don't care which one. Okay.
yeah.
David, describe to them how that energy works.
The way those work, they work similar as a vacuum cleaner. So basically, they'll suck out all of the bad, dark energies that you have and blast them out as a positive energy out the other side.
And it actually draws from the end that is where the brazing is the drawing. The other end, up that end on to Amy's right, is where it comes back in.
Yeah, it would be blasting it out basically.
Right.
Like as your vacuum effect, it's shooting out the one side.
So can you say that? How do you know which is the in and which one's the out?
The side that has the brazing is a side that would be like your sucking side, your vacuum side. The other side would be where it's blasting it out.
So the one where her tag is, which one
Yep.
is
Right.
that?
Yep.
That would be where the brazing is.
So that's where it's coming in?
That's where it's brought together. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's going out the other. Okay, I thought it was reversed. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
And you know what? It really doesn't matter if your coil is an inch long. It doesn't matter if your coil is just a little coil, because like you've got Remen, those are, if they're based, thanks Amy, those are based off of the different lengths. So if he's doing a full length of the Remen, it's gonna be a relatively small little AccuVac because it's a smaller ring. They're based off of the size of the rings. And then he's got a couple of the energies that are full size and they're like that long when you bring them together. But when he does the fraction and he does the breakdown so that they're not quite as large, they still work exactly the same. You're going to have that little bit different sizes. So if you look at it and you say, well, that's not the same size as my ring, it's because if we did it the same size as the ring, your AccuVac would be like this big in your purse versus this big.
Yeah.
I also like to look at the tensor rings as a very similar energy with selenite. Selenite, kyanite, blue and black, and I can't remember off the top of my head. Those are three crystals that do not need to ever be cleaned. They are self-cleaning. They are the natural neutral positive together. And they're very similar to working with a tensor is a similar energy that you have when you're working with the crystals as well. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, so I think a couple of classes, the first tensor class I did with you, April, you were talking about more so if you lent your ring or were using it with somebody that you would need to cleanse it afterwards. If I'm just using it for my personal use and out when, on myself when I'm out out amongst the people or whatever, do I need to clear them once in a while or not really?
What do you think?
I would always clean my stuff, even if I'm out in public and It's the same kind of principle if you ever go into your grocery store where you go to the grab your cart and you grab the wipe to clean the handle. When you're doing that motion of cleaning the handle, you're wiping off that energy of the person before you who had that cart. The person before you may have been super cranky and irritable and rushing and running into people and too many, and
Just paid their
it's
bill.
yeah. So it's, you get a chaotic energy that you pick up just from grabbing the cart that somebody left on that cart. So the same principle with your rings, if you're using it and you want to have somebody else use it, you would want to remove your energy with it with a quick swipe to remove your energy, let them use it, but then when you get it back, you cleanse it and keep moving forward. I would constantly cleanse my stuff with my personal energy.
Right.
So
So, but if I'm just not lending it to anyone, but just have it on myself when I'm out and about, do I need to cleanse it when I get back?
You're picking up other people's energies around you.
Right,
Yes.
right, right. It's an environmental thing. Yes, you would pick it up if doing very slim things like maybe just riding in your car and not really doing a few errands, not like going through heavy duty public, probably not as much as if you're, going through a grocery store, going through a bigger store kind of a thing where there's a lots of people.
Okay. And that applies to the AccuVacs and the bangles as well.
Right, correct.
Yeah. Yeah. And for the
Like,
swipe, you're just,
yeah,
um,
you're just drawing out the bad energy there, the any energy that's left over in it, and you just have that intent to remove any bad energy that it picked up
Signatures. Any signatures or imprints.
or frequency
okay.
that are left behind.
Just a quick hand motion. Yeah.
so can just putting them on selenite, is that enough to clear it all away?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
There's many ways you can put it in the sunlight. You can put it in moonlight. Many ways to cleanse.
It's like, Susan, I know you like to work with selenite as a wand and like
Mhm.
just kind of like putting it over, go like swipe, 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 like you do your personal self is going to do the exact same thing.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. But to clean them is a whole different thing. That was with the salt and vinegar, right?
Yeah. If you're going to clean them and if you want to make them nice and shiny and get rid of the patina and, it's like we've had so much rain here that I noticed they were all starting to get a little bit of they're not weren't quite as shiny as I like them. So that's when Dave and I started looking into there's got to be something that makes it easy. So you can use the citric acid and water, or you can use vinegar and salt. Pretty much anything that's going to be acidic.
Yeah, even lemon.
Yeah, even like lemon juice, that type of thing will clean them. I've been having a blast. I mean, it's like I'm a little kid in a candy store making them go back to their shiny, what is
Mhm.
it? The
And
pre
we can do the 3, 6, 9 one, all of them, that
Yep.
everything.
all
Yes,
everything. Okay.
totally. And
And
Wow.
also
how,
anything that's attached to it too.
Yeah, exactly.
how much vinegar and salt are you using?
When I did the vinegar, I used about a cup of vinegar to like 2 tablespoons of the salt. Don't use Himalayan salt. I tried it with Himalayan salt and I didn't like how it worked. So I
Okay.
resorted back to just plain old regular table salt and it worked much better.
Okay.
There's something about the salt is an ionizer. And when you work with salts, if you do anything with salts, you learn that the ionizing property within them is what we're kind of gaining the benefit of when we cleanse with it.
Okay. And then also on that class a couple months ago, April, you were talking about doing that the circle on your palms to open up before interacting with the rings or the AccuVacs. Is that just to like move them? Like I have a bunch in my bed when I sleep, just to move them to the table. I need to do that every time just to touch them, or is that how
It
meticulous do I need to be? Like,
It
yeah.
amplifies the energy. It opens up
Okay.
your energy to be in union with it. If you do it every time, that's awesome. That's great. If you don't have time and you're just grabbing a tensor ring and you're just kind of like, wow, I got a major headache. Okay. And you don't have time, you don't worry about it. That's just going to open up your receptivity. It's going to open up your energy field.
Okay. Got it.
I personally, when I get up in the morning, I open up my energy field. When I go to bed at night, I reopen it. I'll shut down and then I'll reopen it. And if I'm out and about in public and it's like, oh my God, there's just too many people, it's too peoply, I'll shut my energy down.
Hmm.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And you can do that with your rings and stuff. I think all of you guys learned that you can turn them up or you can turn them down, just like you're turning a dial on a radio for their intensity too.
Hmm.
Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Josie, you are pondering and pondering.
Well, just last night when I got the Remu and the Lost out, because my stomach had been bothering me, I put them under my bed and I'm like, shoot, I forgot to turn them on. And honestly, I just, without touching them, I was like, okay, I want to open up. And I opened up the energy just by saying it. And I felt like it opened up. And then it almost opened up too much where I had to turn it down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And our intentions. Our
Yes.
intentions are the big thing, and we've talked about that in other classes a lot. But what our intentions can do. You know, a
Hmm.
person can have this exact same thing and have no belief in it and say, I know it's not going to work. Do you think it's going
Hmm.
to work for them?
No.
Nope.
Because their intention isn't there. Okay. Any other questions? Any other thoughts?
So if I keep a lot of my tensors underneath the bed, I like the big one I have in my window, the biggest one. Like,
Mhm.
do I need to clean those that are just underneath my bed?
Ask the question again because I didn't understand
It
you.
would.
Oh,
I,
like
I would.
do I need to be cleaning the ones that are just underneath my own bed? Like, do I need to put them in the salt and the vinegar or to clean them or put them on selenite or are they
I would. It depends on how much, like a personal feeling. Like if you feel like they're not working as well, I would definitely do a cleansing.
okay?
It just depends on personal. Like you can tell if they feel like they've absorbed a bunch of stuff and need to decompress themselves.
Mhm.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
you just went through, Susan, your dad's death.
Yeah.
I'd be cleaning them just simply because you've gone through grief, you've gone through sadness, you've gone through celebration, you've gone through. So I would definitely clean them just because of the energy that you've experienced in your own space. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Mhm.
it does.
And if you've been sad, those kind of things, yeah, I would definitely clean them.
Okay. And I could just go over it with the wand of the selenite.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
And just because they are patining and changing color does not mean that they're not working. I mean, it's a more personal if you want them shiny.
It's what copper
Got
does.
it.
You look at the Statue of Liberty, it's green. It still isn't gonna affect its standing there that it's green. It's
Right.
copper.
Or different pennies when you find them. Some are shiny and some are not.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Awesome. Anybody have anything else they want to ask or add or want to understand? Like I said, this is probably the last class. I'll focus on rings. We'll probably talk about the AccuVax next month, and then we'll talk about the feedback loops. We'll talk about the beauty of the feedback loops as compared to the AccuVax is the feedback loops operate instantaneous. The feedback loop has a little process time. So that's a little bit of a difference within those.
Hmm.
But we'll talk more about that.
Last question. When you're doing the swipe of the selenite, is it like three swipes? Is there a number or just kind of get a feeling for it?
I do everything in threes. I have a thing about the number three. And a lot I've done that ever since I can remember. I do things in threes. But I also think if you only have time to go, that's just as good.
Okay.
It's going to be your intention, it's going to be your feeling. You're going to know. The more you spend time with them, the more you're going to know what's happening.
Okay.
The more you spend time with them, you're going to be able to pick it up and say, oh, that's a Remen. Oh, that's a remove. Oh, that's a harmony. Oh, that's the energy, without any even having to think twice where they fall in the pecking order of
Mhm.
the qubits. They just will start to let you know, oh, that one's healing. Oh, that one's balance. Oh, that one's XYZ. Okay.
Hmm.
The frequency that you start to feel makes such a difference. When you get to which is the one that's it's Earth, right, Dave? That is at the heart frequency. Two something. 432. 432
That's Viking.
megahertz is Earth, and it's just that it's the heart of everything is that frequency. And so that's why I like Earth. I always say, when in doubt, I go to Earth.
Hmm.
But you can feel when you hold your tensors. Hold your tensors. Take one and do it with your AccuVacs. If you ladies have AccuVacs, put one in one hand and put one in the other hand and feel the different vibration within it. You can do the same thing picking up a stone, picking up a flower, picking up anything. You're going to feel the different frequency that resides within it. And that's how you'll start to learn what's going on with the different rings. Oh, that one's going like at 1,000,000 miles an hour. That one's going nice and slow and rhythmic. That's another way you'll learn a little bit more about them too. Which one's doing what, which one's bringing in calm and peace, and which one's helping remove. I always like that when I feel something's really going, it's to me taking the chaos and squelching it and bringing it then into a peace. But it has to have that moment.
So, going back to what you were talking about earlier about the nursing home, you said the Remen, the REMEN was a good one to take. Is that the one?
It's the
Not
one
Remen.
that works within the structure. So
Okay.
anything that's held within those four walls will be cleared and will be cleansed and will be it just takes away all that heartache, all that sorrow, all that. And if you have someone who's passed and they're having trouble moving on, use the Remen. It'll help them move on.
Nice. Thank you.
Hmm.
But
Any
from what you
other?
said, my dad is not having problems with that.
No, he's having a great old time. Happy little camper. Um, any other questions? Any other thoughts?
So the little 369 ring that we got in our books of 369,
Mhm.
does it hold the energy of all of the 369?
It is Bosnia. Bosnia is a ring that I will not sell outside of classes. I feel that it has so much energy, it has so much protection, it has so much high level working capabilities that I don't want it just out there. I want people to know what's going on with it. So your 369 bangle that you have and you got through your books is going to help you with the protection. It's going to help you with gratitude. It's going to help you with the 369 within the Bosnia frequency. And remember, Bosnia is the Temple of the Sun, Temple of the Moon, and Temple of the Dragon. It's actually three temples that are together, that are pyramids, that they discovered when we talked about the Bosnia. Bosnia, I do not sell separate. I'm sure there's other people out there who sell it. I won't because I think it's a very sacred ring to me.
Nice. Yeah.
Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? Are we good? You have any
Thank,
you think you want
thank you both. I appreciate this.
Not to know.
to? Okay.
Thank you both.
Thank
And
you.
know that they're going to work with EMF. Know that they're going to work with water. Know that they're going to work with, like David said, it's going to go into the electroculture. All of those are things that these take you to a whole new level, a whole new amplification. So this is a tool that's totally in every ounce and every essence of life and life giving.
Oh.
Actually, I do have another question.
Okay.
Is can you take like a glass of water and set it inside of any Tensor ring or bracelet or anything, and it would purify the water?
We probably more or less can, yeah. The one that I've always preferred and the one that I've always used the most is Sacred. Um, it's just the one that has
Oh,
been the best in the structure. And if you set it up where you use the ring and then your feedback loop and your AccuVac, all three, soon as you set that cup down, instantaneously it's purified and restructured.
Wow.
yeah, I remember you saying that about Sacred now. Yes. Okay.
Sacred's also the one that you hang over your meter
Yeah.
or wherever you've got EMFs really flowing heavy. That's where you want to put the sacred ring as well.
And what was that for the with the sacred?
Sacred is all about dealing with physical stuff. It breaks down all the EMFs. It breaks down, and it brings in purification, that type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
especially
I have one of those nugget ice makers, that sit on your counter. Could I set a sacred on top of that ice maker and would it purify that ice?
yeah.
Sacred is
Yeah.
good. It promotes physical, emotional, cleaning, grounding, protection, and it clears all pollutants. And you place it over drinking water and any kind of water that you're using to like water your garden or anything like that. That's what your sacred's gonna do.
And
Okay.
for your ice machine, what you could do is where your water line is coming into the ice machine, you could quickly disconnect or shut it off, disconnect it real quick and put the line over that or put the ring over it and then reconnect your water and just leave it over the line. And as it continually flows, it'll purify it for you.
Okay, so it's a reservoir. So it doesn't hook up to a water line. So I would just use the hose of the reservoir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Or you could just set it on top if it's a reservoir, that would work as well. So
Okay.
And then while David's here, there's some new product that you were talking about, April, that is better for EMF. It's more, I don't know, the coil looks more like almost like an old telephone cord to me, but what is
That's
that product called?
those are the feedback loops.
Oh, the feedback loops.
Yeah.
So those are more because I have the AccuVacs and the rings, but the feedback loops are quicker at blocking EMF, or how do they work
They
differently?
are what
well,
we were talking is what I do with mine is I take it and I set it on my nightstand and I will set my phone on it so that it blocks any EMF, that frequency that could come off my phone and affect me while I'm sleeping. I have to keep my phone on and I have to keep a phone close to my bed because of what I do. I get people who could be in the middle of crisis at 3 o'clock in the morning and I have to be reachable. So I can't turn my stuff off. So I use the feedback coil. And what I do is I just set my phone on it and it actually keeps that EMF from flowing in and affecting me while I'm sleeping.
Okay.
So which
So
one do you use?
I use Sacred.
Sacred. Okay.
so could we just put our put a sacred anything else like our rings or our bracelets, or is it only the
yes.
feedback?
Yeah, you can use anything sacred. Like for me at home, I'll have, the smart meter on the side of your house. You put the ring around the smart meter, it'll, I've noticed with mine, it's reduced my bill like $30 and I don't have the threat of it catching on fire.
Wait, like for where the meter on the side of your house, you put one?
Yes, yes, yes,
Well,
because they're putting the new smart meters on everything, which are
yeah.
Wi-Fi controlled and everything else, so that higher like your Wi-Fi router, it puts out a Wi-Fi, the EMF frequencies, and it's what you're saturating your whole house and everything around you with. So putting that over it, it eliminates that. And like I literally watched it. I've watched when I first put it on the meter completely went blank. And it did a restart. It completely rebooted.
Yeah, the electric company don't like that.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. So how do I get one of those that I'm going to be able to put on there so it's not going to, and it can be out in all weather?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So if you have all the rings, Susan, I think you have a sacred. But if you want to get one that just goes out on your meter, then you just get another ring.
So
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's a really good idea about sacred on the Wi-Fi router.
right. I do that on my Wi-Fi router and anything that has like a heavy electronic, even your refrigerator, uh,
Oh,
even your cell phone chargers. Your cell phone chargers use as much power as your refrigerator does.
Oh my God,
Mm.
stuff.
So, and they're getting, you get those um cell phone chargers that say 45 watts, super fast charging. Well, you're putting a refrigerator plugging that in right there in the little box.
Oh boy.
That's why it was interesting because I can go through electricity like you would never believe, and I'm like, it's just me. Why am I, and then he's like, well, you leave your cell phone plugged in, your cell phone charger plugged in. It's producing and running energy all the time,
Yep,
whether your cell phone's plugged into it or not.
right.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, I'm unplugging mine
Wow.
right
I
now.
had no clue.
Yeah.
Yep.
wow.
So David, when you're putting the sacred on the Wi-Fi router, are you putting a ring or a feedback loop, or what are you putting?
Just a ring.
Okay.
You can pretty much put anything. The feedback loops are nice because they suck it out the energy and then they send it back directly because of the coil. So it's like a kind of a horseshoe, so it goes out and right back in directly instantly. So that's how it
It looked
does
like a
the
plug
instant.
to me. It looks like a plug-in because of the shape of it. It looks like, oh, I'm plugging something in. That's what it reminds me of for the instantaneous part of it.
And that's called the feedback.
So for the ring, I'm just afraid someone's going to take it off of it, or if I can even get it on it, but I guess I shouldn't be saying that. It'll
Well,
be fine.
What about if it's on their house and say Susan doesn't, say she lives, I don't know where you live, Susan, but say you
Because
live
I,
in an apartment complex where there's like a multiple row of meters. You would want to make sure that your meter's not going to, somebody's not going to take it off of it or whatever. Could they set it on the wall behind the meter?
Yeah, pretty much. Any within the vicinity. If it was a wall of meters, it would probably take care of most of them.
because
So
I have, because I'm in a condo, so I have my own, but there's a lot, like we have a lot of people always around. That's why I just didn't want it to.
I would say, like in your situation, how I was seeing it, Susan, is just hook it so that, put like a push pin on the wall behind it and just hang it on the wall behind where your meter is on the outside.
Okay.
So your ring would actually be inside.
yeah.
Oh.
Because my yeah,
Can
my
you do it on the inside water line?
I
Yeah,
didn't hear you, Josie.
yeah, you
Can you
can.
do it on the inside of your water line? Like I have one of those flow mowing systems. Could I hang it straight on that? That's down in my basement.
Yep.
Yes, yes. And that'll take
Okay.
Okay.
pretty much your whole house. You can even put that on like your line coming into your house before it comes into your house, and it takes care of all of your house.
Okay.
If you put it on in the foundation of your house, then it takes care of everything as well, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because that's what I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good
Um,
idea though with the putting the ring on the inside of the wall. My meter faces the street and there's a lot of foot traffic and a fair amount of cars and stuff. So somebody might take off with it. I'm not sure. So,
it's a way to protect your investment. Just put it on the inside. It's going to do
mhm.
the same thing. It's just not going to be out visible.
and
Yeah.
Which,
I do make the smaller ones that are like the bangle size. You could try to tuck that behind the meter on the outside as well. If it's any little spot you could tuck it under to hide it. You could try that
Okay.
as well. If you're not able to, don't have the wall that's backing the meter, if it's, multimeter and you're not that wall kind of a thing.
Like
Uh-huh.
for me, my meter's all the way out on the other side of my fence. It's nowhere near my house.
Wow.
So the one I have out there, I just put it out there and said make it invisible, guys, so nobody sees my ring and steals it.
Mhm.
So, and
So,
what I'll do, ladies, I'm gonna go against the boss man here. If this is my end of the business. If anybody wants to add some sacred rings to your collections, because I know
Yes.
we really talked about that. They normally sell for $35. I'll take them down to $30 and I'll give you free shipping if you order two or more.
What about the bracelets? Can we use those?
Yes. Yes.
And how much are those?
Those are 20.
So which would be better, the 20 or the 30, when you look at it?
If you're going to hang it on a meter, you're going to want to have the full size ring.
Yeah.
If you're going to use your bangle, you're going to be doing something that's inside. You might be hanging that on your like a water line, that type of thing. But if you do bangles, if you do if you do three bangles, I'll give you free shipping, and then I'll bring down the price on the full size rings. So if you want something, just send me.
I want I want three.
Just
Three
send.
of the bangles. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, just send me a text, and that way we
Okay.
we can get them to you because it's something David's really helped you guys understand a little bit more too tonight. So if you know the benefit, I have so many of these things around my house that it's hysterical. My computer will shut right off. It will shut right off. So I have to not take the computer in the. You guys saw it during retreat that we're here, where all the tensors are. I can't even take my computer in that room anymore.
So the sacred is one that you would put for your cell phone,
Yep.
Yep.
and the water,
If you want a
the
feedback
pick up a
loop,
carbon?
do you remember the cost on the sacred feed? I think it's 18.
Yeah, something
Maybe.
like that.
If anybody wants a feedback loop too, even though we haven't talked about them, a sacred feedback loop, they're normally 18. I'll do those for 14.
And so now are they just kind of like a U-shaped thing?
I'll grab one. Hold on.
Okay.
You can talk to Dave. He'll still be here.
so the refrigerator and the router. I'm looking at all these different things that I need a sacred for.
Right? I know it's amazing when you start thinking about it and looking at it because even your heater, even your refrigerator, you can throw them on there to help reduce the power usage they have.
Okay.
So like your refrigerator, could you just like maybe place it on top of it and it would work?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. This is an energy.
It's the big one.
I brought this so you guys could see it. Hold that for me, please. And show them how it's designed. There.
Yeah.
So as
See
you
how
can see, it's like a horseshoe.
Yeah.
And to me, it looks like a plug.
Yeah.
But then you've
Mhm.
got here where it comes together here. The sacred one is actually this in the
super
feedback.
tiny. Yep.
Hmm.
And then this one that's the large one is your energy cubit.
Okay.
These are going to go out to somebody.
Now, if that goes on your
Wonder who?
for your cell phone or
Yeah, what I do is like I lay it on my nightstand and then I put my phone like this
okay.
so that it's on the actual bead is on my phone.
Hmm.
That's what I do. It kind of like props it up for me.
Yeah.
So you're talking about using these for water. Can we put one on top of our electrical box?
Yes, of
That's
course.
what we've been talking about. Yes.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
saying
I'm sorry. I was still on the water.
Okay. Anything where an EMF is going to be resonating.
I
Your
see.
routers, like I have the satellite dish. You know, I have to be careful that I don't stop that router or the dish from getting the signal, but I can also control it.
Mhm.
Sorry.
And then I have like a mini split AC unit that was installed at my place this summer. So it's like a wall unit.
Right.
Um, so what I put, I'm sure it has lots of Wi-Fi. Would I put the Sacred just on top of it, or
Yeah.
is,
Yeah, essentially wherever you could get it safely with, or you could probably even tape it to one of the sides.
okay? Because I don't know that I could get it around the tubing downstairs or whatever. To
Exactly. Once they braze it together, you can't really break the line.
yeah,
But outside where the copper line comes in, there's connections. You could actually just put it over one of the lines where it goes into the outside unit.
okay,
And it doesn't have to be like around the line. You could just set it on top of one of the connections.
got it.
Which ring is it that's supposed to actually make water freeze?
Ramu.
Remove? That's what I thought. Remove, when you use it as a small, like a bangle, it's smaller than a bangle. But when you use that and you put it, it can actually freeze your water.
Oh my God. Wow.
So
Danielle
I could put
does
that
that.
in with a glass of wine. It would keep it cold.
Yep.
Yep.
Daniela does that with her water bottle. She puts it over the top of like her water bottle, and then her water stays the perfect temperature for her all day long. Because she doesn't
Mm.
like her water real cold, but she doesn't like her water pissy warm either. She says it keeps her water perfect.
Is
Wow.
that is that Ramu or Remu?
Ramu.
Okay.
That's the ring we were talking about today. The ring.
Wow. It
Huh.
just so much information. It can be kind of overwhelming actually.
It's
Very.
actually fun. It's actually fun. When you start playing with it, it's like I cannot do astrology. It's just too much for me to try to focus on. This is this, but this is fun to me. And I'm like, this is like
I just learn so much every single time that I talk to you guys or do anything with my rings. Look up the definition of them or just even look at them. It's just amazing.
there's something new every day. And this isn't it's an old technology that is now new
Yeah, it's basically old stuff that's being brought back to light.
because people are so tired of being, if you excuse the expression, bastardized by what they've put in our energy, in our air, and in our frequencies.
Right. So, David, when was it that you started uh, gosh, I can't think of the word at the moment. Where you started learning how to make these? Like, what was it that started this process for you, this journey?
Um, just starting to do some of the research. Well, technically, originally I was introduced to electric culture when I was in my 20s when I lived in Alaska. There was a gentleman who had first started it, and he was making the what was it, the
Copper pyramids.
no, he was making the garden coils that I make, and
Oh,
he was making them tiny to a specific. He wasn't using qubits, he wasn't using anything specific, but he was making the same kind of coil, and you would put, as the plant started to grow, you would put it around the plant and let the plant grow up through the center of it. That's essentially where the knowledge had started, but I never really moved or did much with it until about a year or 2 years ago. I started doing a little more research into the copper stuff, started seeing that how much more benefit there is to copper and how much they've been hiding and saying copper is bad for you. It's actually toxic, but in all reality, it's not toxic. it actually cleanses your body. It removes the toxicity that they're trying to not or trying to keep you full of.
I think wasn't it about 5 years ago that you started trying to create a generator?
Yeah, that's also where I started um getting involved into the electromagnetic field where it's basically you can take a an alternator, call ours alternator, and you can hook up just a turn that into a generator and just take a regular motor and you just spin that at a certain speed and it'll create its own power and enough power to power your own house. Um, that's essentially what started the whole electromagnetic field generation where that frequency is everything, where it's the same frequency as the Earth and how it all ties in together. It's kind of a big wormhole.
Wow.
Wow. But didn't you even start channeling the original person with the tensor rings?
Right. As I, doing that's where I was saying a couple years ago, getting more into the research of the qubit specifically and the degree and angle and the actual knowledge of that and drawing his energy in is what I think intensifies these rings as much more because he has passed
Right.
on, but I still just draw his energy in, thank him for his energy, thank him for his knowledge and everything. And that is amazing that just the extra boost that it seems to give everything.
Hmm.
It's interesting because in his books, he talks about that he'll sit down and have a cup of coffee and he'll share his knowledge with anybody.
Yeah.
And when he starts channeling him in, I just sit there and I'm like, you are so far over my head, boy. And
Wow.
yeah.
And a couple times she's come down and is like, "Who's that in your kitchen? Who's that in your kitchen?" I'm like,
Ah,
um, "It's the man."
It's those
that's when you just need to say thank you.
right. It's
Yeah.
spirits that are out there and about doing their thing.
Yep.
It's beautiful because
And
then they
so,
keep it up.
so David, was this over your head when he started first coming through and speaking with you and, you know, showing you this and educating you on these?
Um, Not so much over my head, but more of having to like give me the visual, like, you know, giving me the ability to actually see it, I think is what it was, bringing that
That's so
frequency
cool.
level to the point of seeing it. It's like similar with like Chris's harmonizer. Like she had said that she wanted a harmonizer, and instantly the picture just popped into my head. Exactly what I made is what popped into my head. And
Wow.
that's how it happened and how it was just like instant that, and it just was there. I put it on paper and then was able to create it.
Which is stunning, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So, can I ask an unrelated question to what your conversation is? When I get my sacreds to put on all of the places that I need them to go, like for the water, the heater, the electrical box, then how often do I need to clean those?
Just
Um,
walk by it with your selenite and you're fine.
yeah,
Okay,
you
Keep it
could,
simple, Susan.
yep, exactly.
okay,
Or even like
perfect.
once, like, if you clean your house once a week, like same thing, you know. It's
Wow,
the preference, how much you clean your house type of thing. If you're vacuuming and sweeping, doing dishes once a week type of thing. Same kind of thing, just quick once a week.
nice.
I have to show you. Can you guys see my battery?
Uh-huh.
It was full when I started this class. I laid it on the sacred, and what did it do?
Hmm.
Right down to 20%.
And what was it before?
Full. I was at 100.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
It pulls that much out and brings it into the proper flow. So I know when at night I plug it in for sure.
Oh,
Yeah. So really just the feedback loop is mostly for the cell phone. Otherwise, it's best to have the rings.
No, the feedback loop is for almost anything. Like you can even use it like if even if you have like a hurt, you can put it like on your arm like that. And sorry,
It's in that
there you go. And you can do like this, and it draws the pain out and shoots basically positive energy back in.
It works
So
just like a TENS unit.
and it would like work with the heartbeat. So it's like every heartbeat, it sends that energy or that electromagnetic energy. So it's just like boom, 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 boom every time your heart is beating. So
Hmm.
it's how quick it is, kind of an instantaneous hit.
Okay.
So and literally you can use that anywhere. This is more like a I would use as like a tool similar to like the acupressure tool that I have where you put it on certain points or you put it on certain things. You can set it like on your phone. You can use it almost anywhere on anything. And it's almost more like a light tool that you're using on a daily basis.
Okay. I guess that's very interesting about the TENS unit, but I meant more for the EMF capacity. Um, it's probably a better investment to go the rings route versus the feedback loop
If you're
to put on devices and things like that, like
Yeah, for like
fridge.
yeah, exactly. For the bigger units, yeah, your little rings for that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like my AC it'd be better to have a ring versus a feedback loop.
Right, correct.
Okay.
Because it's like the like I was saying, the acupressure, the feedback loop, and like your AcuVac, those are more personal style tools.
Hmm.
Mhm.
somebody text me what I offered you guys too for your discount because my brain has no longer remembered it.
Okay.
And I already forgot it too. What was the
I
Yeah.
wrote it down.
Two
You said
favorite rings for $30 for two
Okay.
each
Right,
if you got two or more, plus free shipping.
right.
And the bangles were
I think I took the bangles down, what, $4?
$4 and free shipping for
Right.
what, three?
So somebody remind me because you guys all know where my brain goes and how it happens. Especially when I'm just kind of going by the flow what the guys are telling me.
the $4 off for the bracelets and then the free shit. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And Dave and I came up with this yesterday. If a person, like a lot of you have the full set of the rings, a full set of the acupressures, a full set of the AcuVacs, we decided to create the full set of these as well. So if a person's interested in having the full set of these, ask me and I can let you know what the price is on that. It's actually discounted right now. It's something Dave and I came up with last night. Well, no, night before last. We were both relaxed in the hot tub and feeling pretty good, so we were being really generous. David's a tinkerer.
Yes.
If he, I mean, he tears things completely apart. He has to understand it. He has to be able to make it do what it's supposed to do. And he's always been that way.
Okay, I just sent it to you, April.
Thank you, Josie. Awesome, ladies. Anybody have any other questions? Any other anything that you need to know tonight, or does everybody feel pretty good? I'm glad David got to be here because he gave you guys some good information
Yes. Yeah. I
and
appreciate
how
that.
to use, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. All right. I think we're good, folks. I will let you go. Let's stop the recording.